What is up, y'all, and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Lollyman16, and I'm here again for another Dragon Ball Super review. This is Dragon Ball Super episode 115, Goku vs Kefla, Super Saiyajin Blue no Yaberu, which translates as Goku vs Kefla. Super Saiyan Blue is defeated with a exclamation mark and a question mark. Now, this episode, guys, features the continuation battle of Goku versus Kefla, which is the fusion of the basically the controlled legendary Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Berserk, if you want to call it, version of Kale, and of course Super Saiyan 2 Kefla. Now, Goku is running on very low power here, and he's fighting Kefla in this episode with basically almost nothing left. And it really kind of shows that in the beginning parts of this episode. Of course, as always, we have these translations from Herms. Thank you, Herms. Herms98 on Twitter, if you guys don't know. Basically, he translates all these episodes for us every week, so thank you to him. But this episode, like I said earlier, it showcases how tired Goku really is. Because we get at the beginning of the episode Goku fighting an SS God versus Kefla, and at the side Beerus is there, and he is complaining to Champa, saying that the Potara fusions are against the rules. But as we all expected, the Omni Kings really like this change, and so the Grand Priest allows it. So that means Potara fusions are now available to use. And this sort of item is used by other universes, but we'll get into that more a little bit later. So, we get Goku versus Kefla, but on the side we also have Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta versus Toppo, which I know people, excuse me, have been wanting to have some more spotlight on Vegeta, and we get a little bit of that this week. Vegeta is fighting Toppo, and it looks like Vegeta is holding his own in there until Vegeta gets distracted and Toppo gets behind him to use one of his Justice Crushers. I'm really happy that they brought back that move. Toppo is very powerful in his grappling and holding techniques, so it makes sense that even Vegeta as Super Saiyan Blue, obviously he's very tired, and obviously he's been fighting quite a bit, so he's not at full power. I mean, if he was, he would have probably be able to break free from it. But we cut back to Goku versus Kefla. Kefla's throwing some big hands, some good ki blasts. At one point, she nails Goku in the stomach with a punch. Goku is pretty much out at this point. I mean, he was just fighting Jiren not too long ago, so he's basically out of stamina. But then Kefla goes for a big ki blast, and Goku is actually forced to go Super Saiyan Blue. And Super Saiyan Blue is standing there, and Kefla is sort of impressed, but Goku is even more impressed of Kefla's power, because if you think of it, Potara fusion is ridiculously powerful. I mean, they even said last week that it's literally both fighters combined and then multiplied several times over, like tens of times over. We've seen this before in the Majin Buu arc when Vegeta and Goku fused. I mean, they were ridiculously powerful. So powerful, in fact, that their base form was able to keep up with Buuhan. I mean, come on, it's Super Buu with Gohan, Goten, Piccolo, and Trunks, and everyone. So it kind of actually makes sense that Kefla, with insane potential already, with Kale, and of course the cockiness of Kefla, it would make sense that she is powering up even further with her Saiyan biology. Meanwhile, Beerus thinks that they should use Potara fusion as well. And Shin, the Kaioshin, actually suggests that, he suggests 17 and 18 to fuse. But we then points out that if they fuse and they'll lose, then it's going to be even worse, because if they fuse and then they lose, you're going to lose two people. So actually, Potara fusion may not even be the greatest strategy. I mean, if they're going to use Potara fusion, you might as well go with, either, it's kind of difficult to say, because if you go with someone strong and then they end up losing, well, you lose two of your strongest members. But if you lose two of the weaker guys, I mean, I guess that's a little better in some cases, because if you use weaker guys to fuse and then they lose, that means, yeah, you lose two people, but you still have the strong guys in there. So that's probably the reasoning why Shin suggested 17 and 18 to begin with. But anyway, so Goku is in SS Blue, and basically at this point he's pretty much done conserving his stamina. Either that or he's completely forgotten it. And so he's going to go all out against Kefla. He wants to see if he can beat this new Potara fusion. But Kefla likewise decides to go all out, and she powers up even further. And they fight a little bit. Goku throws some good ki blasts, and she throws some good ki blasts as well. It looks like Goku is actually semi on par with her, which is very interesting. But Goku is forced to go Kaioken in this episode. I mean, come on, he's been fighting so much that it doesn't make sense. And I really liked in this episode that Goku was not forced to go any higher versions of Kaioken. He just used the base Kaioken because he's already extremely exhausted. And it actually does make sense how Kefla is able to defeat Goku, because first of all, Goku is in Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 1 or times 2. He doesn't use any of his higher versions as far as I know. And she hits him with a hard kick, and that pretty much knocks him out to base form. But we have on the side some interesting stuff. I do like the fact that they are cutting away to other characters, as we see Android 18, Jinzo Ningen Ju Hachigo-san, and she is fighting Kato Pesura, I believe. That is the police-like warrior from Universe 3, and she is fighting him, and she notes that he is very fast because, if you remember last episode, he has this speed mode where he can increase his speed over 300 times. It's pretty impressive. His speed is pretty impressive, and she actually catches her off guard. He catches her off guard, and she's momentarily knocked back. But I'm pretty sure she will prevail next episode. Now, we get some funny moments with Champa in this episode. Champa is basically freaking out that Goku is holding his own in there with a Potara fusion, even though he's extremely exhausted. And they're also impressed at the fact that they are having so much power to where the arena itself is really being damaged heavily. And Jiren even notices their power. I mean, he slightly reacts, not very much, but he does react slightly to Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku and Kefla's full power attacks. And basically, once Goku is out to his base form, Kefla tries to finish him off with some good ki blasts, but then, guys, we get the most interesting part of this episode, and we start to hear this music, ne, 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 that music from the special, right? We get that orchestral arrangement again, and very interestingly enough, I also want to comment on the soundtrack that Sumitomo used in this episode. He actually brought back Ultimate Battle, the Ultimate Battle OST, the rock song that they used in the special, right? He brought that back, and that was very interesting. I'm not sure why he brought it back for this occasion, but it was good to see nonetheless. But anyway, back to the final parts of this episode. So Goku is there at his base, but he is powering up, and we can hear the music again. And then all of a sudden, he dodges Kefla's ki blast like it was pretty much nothing. And then he powers up even further. His eyes are still closed. And so Kefla goes for another ki blast attack. And again, Goku just literally knocks them all away, like instantly. And then a huge explosion, some gorgeous animation here. Goku actually goes into Migate no Gokui again. He goes into Ultra Instinct. Now, I was not expecting Goku to transform this early, right, from what we've seen last time, but Goku has broken his shell once again, as Whis mentions in the episode. And yeah, this episode overall, I mean, it was better than I expected. I expected Goku to use Kaioken Rooms 20 and Kefla to just completely destroy him, but that's not actually what happened here. Goku is actually able to hold his own, which I do very much respect, that the fact that Goku was able to hang in there with a fusion. I know some people may not like this because of power scaling, like, oh, you can't beat a fusion, but I think it does work, right? I just don't think that Kefla has enough power nor the experience. I mean, she might have enough power, but definitely not the experience to fight alongside Goku. I mean, even the episode, like, Kefla is going for an attack, and then Goku uses, it seems to be Shunkan Ito, his instant transmission. She thinks she sensed it, but she actually didn't sense it. And Goku, he got in very close and then delivered a big attack. And so, I mean, it's pretty clear that Kefla has almost unlimited potential, right? And she has a lot of power. I mean, they are both science fused, so it makes sense. But I just don't think with the amount of training and experience, she cannot keep up with Goku. And it really shows how far Goku has come. I mean, Goku. I mean, he's completely exhausted, but he was still able to hang in there with a fusion, and that's gonna tell you something right there, folks. You know, you may not like the character of Kale and Kefla, right? But you can respect their tenacity, and of course you can respect Goku as well. That's pretty much it for my review of episode 115. Better episode than expected, I thought. It's going to be interesting to see how Ultra Instinct is going to play out next episode. I'm going to predict right now that the fusion is going to wear out first, and Goku's Ultra Instinct is not going to wear out first. I think that the Potara is going to wear out first, and that this means that Goku is probably going to eliminate Kale and Kefla, and then Universe 6 is going to be destroyed, or at least that's what the spoilers have been hinting at. There's my prediction from there. I hope you guys all enjoyed this review. Thank you all for watching, everybody. Stay awesome and have a good one.